What's up, everybody? What a day for AMC. This is going to be the AMC update. Not going to waste any of your time. We're going to jump right into the video. So if you wouldn't mind leaving a like and subscribe if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it. The short interest on AMC down 1.38% today, which is not surprising. A borrow change net return of 1.46 million. The shares on loan is at 105 million and 20% of the free float on loan. The estimated short interest percentage is currently 17.76%. So that's what we got as far as short interest. They didn't really do much covering today, so I wouldn't worry about this action on the chart being much covering because it wasn't. This was mostly a breakout, and it was a beautiful breakout. Once it finally broke out of that 37.50, tried it once earlier, got rejected early in the morning. Came back down to 36.35, and the next time it came up and tested it, got rejected, and then broke through, and it just ripped. It just absolutely ripped. Now, I had predicted that it was going to probably go up to, so if you have seen my previous videos, I was talking about how the previous moves in this run have been 30% from top to bottom, bottom to top. So I was predicting at least a 30% move this go around, which would have put us right here at this $42 mark, and it just blew right past. I mean, it kind of slowed down for a little while, and then it just blew right on through past my next target of $46.50 from the high back here on July 21st, and right on up to the, just put this line in here today, today's high of 48.19. So we had a hell of a breakout. We had a breakout of the horizontal resistance here. We had a breakout of this wedge we had been forming, a downward resistance that we were in on this longer term wedge. There's no line, but it's, you know, it's there. And so what do I think is going to happen? I mean, it's looking like, you know, if you look at the indicators, RSI, we are way up high, you know, 83. This is the time where you can kind of start throwing these things completely out the window. You can't ignore it, but you can't really take them that seriously either, especially the extended hours, I believe, because so much sideways trading in extended hours. Usually this RSI can do an awful lot of changing or an awful lot of nothing in the after hours with a little bit of movement. So if we turn the extended hours off on the hourly chart, we're a little overextended. But if you look back here, we traded sideways for a few hours, and the RSI went plummeting for those few hours before we made our next run up here. So I think we are due to cool off, perhaps. I think what's going to happen is tomorrow morning, I think we're going to straight out of the gate within the first hour or 2 hours, if we don't immediately start selling off, which I don't believe we're going to, just because of this is going to create a lot of excitement, especially if this does anything in the pre-market. We're going to test our high of the day today, 48.19. And the reason I say that is because every time during this run, like back here, August 9th, we broke out of this downward trend we were in. The next day, we tested that high, and you know, this was earnings day. The day after, we were way up on open, so we came way crashing down. Next time we tried, we broke that high. The very next day, you know, we got rejected. Very next day, retested that high. We got rejected. So this time, we tested that high. We broke that high on the next day. Just went crashing through it. And now we have a new high that I believe we are going to be set to be testing tomorrow morning. All right, so I'm going to delete this line at 38 because I think our support, if we do not hold up here in the 48, if we break 46 tomorrow morning and then 48, if we break 48, realistically the next gap is going to be straight to probably 53. And if we break 53, then all bets are off. This could do anything, absolutely anything, because you got to think every single short that's been added from this point on would be red on a break of 53. This is why we got such a violent break here. We took care of all the shorts from 37 and down, and then we took care of the shorts from 40 and down, and then we took care of the shorts from 43, 44 and down. You know what I mean? So if this continues this momentum into tomorrow alone, with a break of 48 and then 48 into 50 to the 53 range, if and when this breaks 53, I don't know what's gonna happen, because I think it's gonna immediately, not, you know what I'm saying, on the chart, immediately just take a shot right at the 72, you know, all-time highs. And it may sound like I'm getting ahead of myself talking about all-time highs and all this and all that, but let me tell you, I've been watching this stock for 7 months, and when I tell you that all it takes is a couple days, a couple days, you know, all it takes is a couple days. And especially with the amount of attention that's on this right now, the amount of people that are watching what it's doing at each one of these levels, this was an explosive. I was not expecting a break of 37 and then immediately testing 49, basically. Was not expecting that. 48, you know. That was a bigger move than I was anticipating. 46 the most. I was thinking maybe 46 sometime this week. After yesterday, I was guessing it might reach it a little sooner than the end of the week, but I was still coming into the week. I was thinking like a break of 40 and then a test of 46, 48 would be awesome this week. It's Tuesday, you know? And so here we are on the 4 hour. If we go to the daily, you know, as far as indicators and stuff, I mean, we're only at 62. I know on the RSI. So I know I said you can't pay a whole lot of attention to it, but at the same time, that's where we're at. Just so you know, just point it out. So I think we're in great shape for the simple fact that we broke through every single one of these resistances today. We broke through them all, and then came down to, you know, to cool off. And we've held above these highs of this candle back here, this big green candle. So we've just got a wick ahead of us. We've just got one wick here, and then we've got a gap in the chart here. You know, there's not a whole lot in our way. This thing gapped down and gapped down and gapped down when it came crashing down. So I said a while back, when it starts coming back up and it starts filling all these gaps it's made past this point, it's going to start filling these gaps. I mean, it's got, you see where it stopped today, right here at the top of these candles at $48.50, and there's still a gap to 50 right above that needs to be filled. So this is going to get pretty exciting, if you ask me. If you ask me, I think this is the beginning of the end. I don't think that they can do much to stop it at this point. The beginning of the end as far as this goes, this sideways. I think we're getting ready to see how far the next leg is going to take us. And it could be something that takes 2 weeks to play out, like it took a couple weeks back here. But the thing is, there is not 100 million shares to dilute into the market. There isn't any more Wandas. There's no more Mudricks. Nothing but hype. Nothing but hype. So I got carried away. I wanted to show you where I think, if we end up not holding, where I think we might end up coming back down to. So I think we're in more of an upward channel now than we were in a wedge. I think this was more of a break of this upward channel. So I think if we were to take and extend this trend line, our support is probably going to be around, if it doesn't hold the 50 MA here at 43, and our support that we know we have at 43, or at least that was resistance that we could use as support, I think we're looking at potentially this upward trend line catching us. Wherever it ends up when we come back down to it, that's where I think our support could be. Worst case scenario, back down to 38. Don't think it's going to come back down a whole lot farther than that anymore anytime soon. So that's what I've got for this video. Tomorrow, looking for it to, I mean, let's compare. If we have another day like we had yesterday, a 20% day, you're looking at retesting $60. You know, 58 to 60 bucks, the top of this region, just if we have another day like yesterday. But I'll tell you what, when we start breaking these lines, look at these gaps get bigger and bigger. I mean, our next one after here is $58 to $60, and then we've got our 63 to 65, and then it's clear skies. All right, so anyways, that's what I'm looking for tomorrow. Hope everyone had a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.